Straight ahead on WBKB, Republicans nix the January 6th commission, plus a live look at how traffic is moving as we head into the holiday weekend, and a garden project takes off at one elementary school. You are watching Thunder Bay News Network. WBKB News at 6 starts now.
This is WBKB News at 6. An in-depth look at news, weather, and sports. From hard-hitting news stories to local events, we're there with coverage you can count on. You're watching WBKB News at 6.
Good evening and thank you for joining us. I'm Tyler Cruz. The bill to create a commission to investigate the causes of the January 6th assault on the U.S. Capitol is dead for now after it failed to clear a procedural hurdle in the Senate. Natalie Brand has more details from Capitol Hill.
Republicans used the filibuster to block a vote to create a 9/11-style commission to investigate the January 6th attack on the U.S. Capitol.
On this vote, the yeas are 54, the nays are 35.
6 Republicans voted with Democrats to proceed, but 10 were needed in order to move forward. Senate Majority Leader Chuck Schumer says Republicans are protecting former President Trump's lies about the 2020 election.
Out of fear or fealty to Donald Trump, the Republican minority just prevented the American people from getting the full truth about January 6th.
GOP leaders argue Senate committees and the Department of Justice are already conducting investigations.
I do not believe the additional extraneous commission that Democratic leaders want would uncover crucial new facts or promote healing.
Friends and family of fallen Capitol Police Officer Brian Sicknick met with Republican lawmakers Thursday, pleading with them to support the legislation.
This was to uphold the Constitution, and right now I don't think they're doing it.
Senator Schumer says the fight to create an independent commission is not yet over.
Senators should rest assured that the events of January 6th will be investigated.
Leader Schumer says he reserves the right to bring the bill back to the floor at a future date. Natalie Brand, CBS News, Capitol Hill.
A record number of travelers are expected to take to the road and sky this holiday weekend. WBKB's Sherry Stewart is live on M32 to give us a look at how traffic is moving. Sherry, we miss you over here. What's up?
Thanks for that. I'm at the corner here of M32 where traffic is moving along nicely as we get ready to head out for the holiday weekend. Now, if you're traveling this weekend, MSP has a very simple yet important message for you. Officers from police departments, sheriff's offices, and the Michigan State Police are conducting seatbelt enforcement across the state. The Click It or Ticket campaign includes this Memorial Day weekend. The Michigan Office of Highway Safety Planning says seatbelt usage in Michigan was above 94% in 2019, and that's better than the national average of 90%. MSP Trooper Robert Mitchell says the best way to protect yourself on the road is to always buckle up.
The single simplest thing you can do for your safety is to put your safety belt on. It'll reduce your risk of serious injury or death by 50%. So it's the smartest thing you can do. Well, there are a lot of inexperienced drivers that think they're invincible. Just remember, put your safety belt on, if not for you, for your family's sake.
A reminder we can never hear too often. Now, a couple more points before I let you go here. If you're heading to the pumps this weekend, be prepared for a little bit of sticker shock. AAA says that we're seeing the most expensive Memorial Day gas prices since 2014. And if your travels take you to the airport this weekend, pack a little bit of extra patience. AAA again says that we're expected to see a record number of air travelers. So there you have it, live in Alpena, Sherry Stewart, WBKB News.
Thanks for that, Sherry. Now, here's meteorologist Ellie Morrison with a first check of the weather. Ellie, how does the start of the holiday weekend look?
Tyler, the weekend's going to start with bright skies and temperatures that will be getting warmer. We started off with cloud cover today, but now bright blue sky over Lachine at M32 and M65 if you're heading westbound out of town here on M32, looking good to go. And in Rose City, just north of Rose City on M33, we are also seeing bright blue skies over that area. But the temperatures this evening remain quite cool. We are sitting at 53 degrees in Alpena and and it's 48 degrees with clear skies in Oscoda. Temperatures later tonight will be heading into the upper 30s, lows near 36 degrees. Morning temperatures will pretty quickly rise into the 40s, and then we're heading up to afternoon highs tomorrow near 60. It's going to get warmer beyond that. I'll let you know when temperatures will climb to the 70s coming up later in the newscast.
Thanks for that, Ellie. We'll get back to you in a bit. More travel tips for the holiday. AAA says 34 million Americans are heading out on the road this Memorial Day weekend. They're urging you to make sure your car is road trip ready. WBKB's Tiffany Maddox spoke with one local car expert for some tips.
You're ready to hit the road, but is your car physically prepared?
It could cost a lot of money, and then you're stuck out of town when it does break down.
AAA expects to rescue more than 468,000 Americans this Memorial Day weekend, mostly due to situations that could be avoided with a simple vehicle inspection. Al Reynolds from R Auto Repair in Alpena agrees. He says if you cannot do it yourself, take your car to an expert.
Technician's going to see things on a daily basis, and they're going to be more familiar with the problems that may be there than someone who doesn't do it every day.
Here's a few more tips to make sure your car passes the test on your next road trip. Make sure tires are maintained and ready to roll.
Tire pressures are critical. There's a few different things that you could do yourself as far as air pressure in the tires.
Having your brakes checked is also ideal. AAA also recommends having your car battery, oil, fluids, and wipers checked and replaced if needed. Overall, to avoid any troubles while trying to enjoy your vacation, it's best to make sure everyone, including your car, is up to the stresses of the road.
This way, you have a safe and successful trip.
Have a safe Memorial Day weekend. In Alpena, Tiffany Maddox, WBKB News.
Thanks for that, Tiffany. Well, we may never know what sparked the flame that destroyed the L&N Greenway disposal building on Monday night. The Alpena Fire Department has completed their investigation. They say the fire started on the south side of the building near a trash compactor and disposal area. The time that the fire started is unknown, but drivers saw the entire structure on fire at 10:40 on Monday night. Crews worked until Tuesday morning to put the fire out and clear debris. Officials say that the fire was not suspicious in origin, but they may never know exactly how it started.
When we investigate a fire, we try to reenact or try to put the scene back together. With everything being displaced in so many locations, it's really hard to do that. So it's kind of a educated guess, hypotheses. We figure what could and what couldn't have started this.
Marceau says they could not rule out an electrical fire or equipment malfunction as a cause, and there are other possibilities as well, like hot ashes in the garbage. By Tuesday, 40 first responders from Alpena City, Alpena Township, the Combat Readiness Training Center, and Maple Ridge and Presque Isle Townships were out fighting the fire. The Salvation Army, Alpena Police, the Sheriff's Office, and State Police also assisted the firefighters through the night.
It was great cooperation between departments, and a lot of people helped, from tow truck companies to Salvation Army to all the responding fire departments. Great help, and great thanks to everybody for chipping in.
There were no injuries from the structure fire, but the building is a complete loss. Alpena Township officials say they have sent a proposed contract for fire services to the city of Alpena. Township Supervisor Nathan Skibby says the Board of Trustees is in a waiting phase as the city reviews the contract. He says this has been a lengthy process for the board.
Because of the complexities, when it comes to emergency services, this is centric to one of our primary functions as a governmental unit.
The city is expected to review the proposed contract at their June 7 meeting. If council decides to move forward with the contract, the township will hold a special meeting with a question and answer period for residents. Students at Hinks Elementary are cultivating their green thumbs. WBKB's Kent Davis has more.
After several years of preparation, the Hinks Elementary garden is taking shape. Third grade teacher Nicole Wachewski told WBKB multiple groups have lent their support for the garden.
It started with our very own Home Depot giving us a grant. Cutting Edge Construction came in and built the fence for us. Then our Alpena Public Schools maintenance crew came in and built the beds.
Believe it or not, that was just a small sample. Meanwhile, students get to lay down the soil and mulch, and many are looking forward to getting growing.
This is an experience for how we could plant in the future, so we know how to do all this stuff. We get to learn how to plant, and we get to learn about how the garden works and how the sun works at different times.
Students will get to interact with the garden through science classes and use it as a tool to learn about the web of life. They'll also raise many types of produce.
I'm most excited to grow like broccoli and fruit.
I'm excited to grow watermelon and jalapenos.
Science classes engaging the garden will be a part of all grade levels. In Alpena, Kent Davis, WBKB News.
Thanks for that, Kent. That looks like a blast. Next time you're down there, bring me back some vegetables. More news ahead for you here on WBKB. Coming up, our weekly update on the Bagley.
Says she learned something new, that squirrels also like to eat oranges. She adds this one looks like it hasn't missed too many meals, probably because it eats most of the bird's food. Thank you, Mary, for sending us this photo. If you have a photo such as nature shots, pics with friends, or interesting sights you see that you would like to send us, email it along with a short description to news@WBKB11.com.
That squirrel's getting in the summer spirit with some fresh, refreshing fruit. Coming up on WBKB News, why the DNR says to avoid foam on water, and Jake Vanderbrook will have the latest. Welcome back. Michiganders heading to lakes, rivers, and streams this summer are also warned of contact with unknown chemicals. The Michigan Department of Health and Human Services warns of foam. They say it may have high levels of PFAS. The foam is bright white, lightweight, and piles up like shaving cream. It also has a fishy scent. Chief Medical Executive Dr. Janae Caldoun says there are ways to limit exposure. She says rinse or wash immediately after recreational activities. The Bagley Bridge construction crew is taking a well-earned break this weekend. Kent Davis has this week's bridge update.
The construction equipment on the Bagley Bridge was quiet on Friday. The contractor seems to have made a decision to pause work because of the holiday weekend. Managing Director Ryan Bragey explains.
My guess would be there's no task they could complete by 3 p.m. today. A lot of folks don't know that the contractor has to be off the road by 3 p.m. on the Friday preceding a holiday weekend and can't resume work until 6 a.m. on Tuesday.
However, that doesn't mean that nothing was done this week. Workers removed the forms and copper dam sheeting from Pier 3. Come next week, they'll start pouring the concrete to create Pier 2. Once that final pier is complete, they'll begin work on replacing the abutments. Bragey says the bridge is still on schedule for a fall opening. In Alpena, Kent Davis, WBKB News.
Thanks, Kent. Stay tuned next week for another update on the bridge's progress. Sports is coming up next, but first, Jake Vanderbrook is here with a preview. Jake, what you got for us tonight?
Hey, Tyler, next in sports, Michigan baseball. They started a 3-game series at Nebraska. Highlights on that, plus week 1 of Lions OTAs are in the books for the veterans, and Dan Campbell is liking what he's seeing from his new quarterback. More on this when WBKB News at 6 returns.
Thank you for watching WBKB News at 6. You can visit WBKB11.com for sports, weather, and news updates anytime, day or night. And check us out on our Facebook page and Twitter handle at WBKB11. Join us tonight for WBKB News at 11 with Kent Davis. Have a great night.